so in love with you, honey. Everything will bring a chain of love. And in the morning when I rise, bring a tear of joy to my eyes and tell me everything's gonna be alright. Love a guy who holds the world in a paper cup. Drink it up. Love him and he'll bring you love. And if you find he helps your mind, better take him home, home. Yeah, don't you live alone. Try to earn what lovers own. And even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey. Everything will bring a chain of love. And in the morning when I rise, bring a tear of joy to my eyes and tell me everything's gonna be alright. Honey, everything will bring a chain of love. And in the morning when I rise, bring a tear of joy to my eyes and tell me everything's gonna be alright.
RITER Radio is a BKR Media production.
Welcome to the morning meeting, everybody. Or should I say the whenever you decide to show up meeting?
I said the hip, hop, the hippie, the hippie, the hip, hip, hop, the don't stop, the rocket to the bang, bang, boogie, say up, up, the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what the hell is to the twist, I'm ripping to the beat. I'm here, the groove, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet. See, I am on the move, and I'd like to say hello. I to the back, to the right, the red, and the blue, the purple, and yellow. But first I gotta bang, bang, the boogie to the boogie, say up, the boogie to the bang, bang, boogie.
Hi. Hello. Welcome to episode 211 of RITER Radio. I'm Brad. Hi. How are things? It doesn't seem like everything is working exactly like it's supposed to. Video-wise, a little countdown thing didn't happen. I usually do this little countdown thing. We'll try it again. I mean, now that I'm talking, I feel better about things not working because at least I can explain it away. But I could not do that. Moments ago, I'm pushing buttons. I push buttons to like play video elements of the thing and audio elements of the thing. And we're running late. I started late anyway. And it's just like, I'm not as good at this as I would like to be. I'm working on it. I'm trying, It's only been 211 episodes, so how could I possibly be expected to have this thing down? RITER Radio is brought to you by Brian Janik and the Financial Guys. TheFinancialGuys.com is the place to go for them. Brian is very busy, so if you call the Financial Guys or you like text them or email them or something, they'll be like, yeah, you can talk to Brian in a month or two. But he's buried. But once he's done being buried, this is busy season for the insurance guy. People are opting in and out of things right now, and he's swamped. But eventually you'll get to him. And you'll be happy when you do. So this time next year, when he's buried, you'll be a part of the agenda. Right now, he's too cool for you right now. But you can get on the list. Just call him. Brian Janik at thefinancialguys.com. Sponsor number one of RITER Radio, which is awesome. How are you? How are things? How was your Sunday afternoon? How was your 1 o'clock game? 1 o'clock games are, I don't like them. I know that we spent nearly 20 years with the team being so bad that they just played 1 o'clock games. And a lot of people got used to that. I did not. I didn't like it. 1 o'clock is when everybody else plays. That's what I like. I like when the Bills are a featured team over the course of the week. And like the just pile of games that happens at 1, you can sift through that. It used to be worth having NFL Sunday ticket. It is not anymore. Problem being that the Bills, I did that wrong. I'm sorry. I said that completely backward. I would like to rewind. It used to be a waste to have Sunday ticket. Now it would make sense, is what I meant. I used to have it, but I barely used it because the Bills always played at 1, and I'm going to watch the Bills exclusively. I can't have 4 screens going, and the Bills are one of them. No. The Bills are their own thing. But when the Bills are playing, like this week, they're playing Thursday. I could use Sunday ticket on Sunday because then I'd have 4 of the other games that I care a little bit less about, a lot less about, all going at the same time, that makes sense. But Sunday ticket, Bills play, like, okay, I'm watching the Bills. Then it ends. I'm like, cool, I have Sunday ticket. Now I get to choose from the 3, 4 o'clock games? No thanks. Don't care. They won. Things feel better. The general conversation. Now, I was not at any point in public during or since the Bills' victory over the Bucs yesterday, but based exclusively on the handful of phone calls, the people in my house, which is me, my wife, and 3 boys, 13-year-old who probably doesn't even know the Bills played, 11-year-old, 9-year-old who live and die with the team. Everything's just like back to normal conversation. After what was kind of like a normal, or at least what we feel is a normal Bills Josh Allen game, I think what we saw yesterday was a throwback to like 5, 6, 7 years ago, where they're just like, you know what? You just want Josh? All right, we'll just give you Josh. I don't think the run didn't work yesterday. You know, they've been very James Cook oriented for much of this season. It's been fine. He's been very good. The O-line's been very good. That's kind of the way they've been steering the whole thing. And then they just decided to remake the entire wide receiver room and have Josh throw the ball everywhere. And that worked too. I think what we learned yesterday, or what we should learn from yesterday, is that they can play however you'd like them to play, or however they would like themselves to play, and be fine. They didn't destroy the Bucs yesterday. That's a good team too, by the way. Good team. They both came in 6-3. Bills come out with a 12-point win. That wasn't just a step on their faces type of opponent. That was a real team. And they took care of business. And Josh looked like, well, I mean, go back to the interception on the first drive of the game. It looked like old school crazy Josh. But I also remember really, really liking old school crazy Josh. The thing we fell in love with this quarterback is the lunacy, right? The lunacy that almost always turns out great, like works to his advantage and therefore our advantage. He's just fun. And they brought the fun back with Josh yesterday. And I think all of us went, oh yeah, I like this guy. I like how this works. As opposed to the like calm, almost the married Josh. I guess I'll do that. There's crazy single Josh that we watched for 7 years? Is this year 8? I'm not positive. I'm not looking it up. Let's call it year 8. If I'm wrong, sorry. But we had 7 years of single crazy, bachelor party Josh. And now we've got married Josh. And I know he doesn't have kids yet. Right? I don't know that. But at least publicly, there are like no children. He's a guy who got married. And now he's acting like, and the Bills are acting like, he's more responsible. He's calm. He's in control. It all makes sense. Look, man, I love it. I love it. I love the calm, sensible version of the crazy wildebeest at quarterback. But I also really like the crazy version. And from the start, even the interception that was That was terrible. That was a flashback to, oh no, remember when he used to do this crap? Even with that, it's like, oh, well, this is going to be fun then, right? Wild child. Wild child out there at quarterback. And that means just slinging it, throwing it deep to dudes. The wide receiver room was entirely different from what it usually is. It's all new dudes. Not all, but mostly. I mean, Shakir was there, but then, like, all the new guys show up, and we forget about Shakir. What do you have, a catch? Maybe? I have to look that up. I don't know what the stats... I should have a box score open on my screen. Hold on. Stick with me. It's RITER Radio. The Bills won. We're happy about that. Scott Wilson will be on the show a little bit later today. Like half an hour from now, something like that. All right. Bills box score. There it is. I want to see the receiver numbers. Shakir had one catch for -3 yards. So going into yesterday, it's so crazy. It's so crazy to think about this. Going into yesterday, look, we're all, I don't even say angry, but frustrated with Keon Coleman, right? First round draft pick last year. Who's fine. He's fine. It's fine that he's on the team. And then he got scratched yesterday, didn't play. And then eventually it comes out that he missed a meeting on Friday or something, and it was a disciplinary situation. I don't think anyone cares why that happened. We just care that it happened. And the receivers, if you read them top to bottom, it doesn't really sound like the same team that the Bills have had recently. It goes Shavers, 4 catches, Cook 3, Ty Johnson. All right, these aren't arranged by catch or by reception, so the number's going to be weird, or the list will be a little weird. Shavers, 4 catches for 90. It's by yards. Cook, 3 for 66. Ty Johnson, 2 for 61. Gabe Davis, my man, is back, 3 for 40. Dawson Knox, 1 for 23. Curtis Samuel is on the Bills. Reminder, 2 for 19. Josh Palmer's back, 2 for 17. Kaliki Latu, I don't know what that is. 1 for 4. I fell asleep during part of the third quarter, and apparently that guy had a catch. I think he's the guy from the text message that I sent to all my friends when I found out Gabe Davis and Mecole Hardman were being activated for the game. And I think he was the other guy. But they just swapped out the receiver room. All right, love the O-line. We talk about that all the time. I love the O-line. Love the quarterback. We talk about that. We all love the quarterback. Running backs, love them. Receivers, what's going on there? All right, let's just swap them all out. See how it goes. Goes great. We set our man free. Our man Josh Allen played like baby Josh again. Crazy baby Josh. And that results in a 2-handed interception thrown from the end zone on the first drive of the game. But it also results in just the ball being thrown everywhere. Nice little reminder yesterday that the Bills can beat you however they would like. Or they can play with you however they would like. They might not win, but they're gonna be fun. They have flipped. They flipped this year from being super fun and entertaining to methodical and almost boring. I don't, winning 6 of your first 9 games isn't boring, but it can be. It can be a little, I don't know, tried and true. It's like a vanilla. It's been a vanilla type of season because Josh has gotten better. He's still a lunatic. He's still incredible. He's still capable of doing super stupid fun things. But he doesn't have to. We got this Cook guy who just runs for 117 yards every game and a touchdown or two, and it's been that. And you don't have to make him, Josh, the be-all, end-all. Every single play is him putting his life on the line. You don't have to do that anymore. Yesterday felt like a hall pass. Like, all right, Josh, you want to just go nuts? Just go do the stuff you want to do? Go ahead. We've been coaching you to do the stuff that's smarter. But for a day, because the fans we're getting restless. We as a community have become restless with this dull-ish version of the Bills. Josh, go remind everybody that things can be crazy. If you get a chance, go throw for 3 touchdowns and run for 3 touchdowns like no one but Otto Graham has ever done. Go do that again. So now it's Otto Graham once, Josh once last year, Josh yesterday, with 3 touchdown passes and 3 touchdown runs in the same game. Go justify everybody who took you first in the fantasy draft, Josh. Go make that happen. Doing all the commercials and all the stuff. Go do all the crazy things that made us love you. Like, I appreciate soft, married Josh. But I miss crazy bachelor party Josh. And we got bachelor party Josh yesterday. And it was awesome. They only won by 12, which means there were some defensive problems, obviously. Again, or still. But watching that dude go nuts is what we signed up for. What we've been enjoying since 2018. And he was that guy yesterday. He was almost rookie Josh. Maybe second year Josh. Probably second year Josh. Little more under control. But he's been under control since what, 2020? 18 and 19 were lunacy years that made us fall in love with him. And he was that yesterday. So just a little reminder, he can still get frisky. And frisky Josh is very fun Josh. So that was great, man. I loved it. I loved watching it. I love knowing that that's not what we're going to get every week. But it really felt like there was a substitute teacher or something. It's like, all right, we're going to screw around today. We'll get back to normal soon. But today we're just going to go nuts. And that's what yesterday was. Yesterday was deep passes. Deep pass to Tyrell Shavers. Like right off the bat. I don't even know who he is. Catch the ball, crazy man. Okay, it worked. 4 catches, 90 yards. Including that 43-yard touchdown. Long touchdowns. That's Josh. Craziness. Lunacy. Fun. That's more like it, says everyone. Says like my dad in a text message. Yeah, that's what I like. You're right. Just score all over the place. Just sling it. There's nothing he can't do. There are a lot of things he shouldn't do, and very often he doesn't do because he shouldn't do them. Yesterday was just, I don't know, just go ahead. Teacher's not here. Just go. What do you want to do? Sling it. It was awesome. The most frustrating thing, I think, as a Bills fan this year, is looking at those receivers and going, well, I recognize a lot of the names. I've seen some of them, most of them, make plays. But if I'm throwing the ball to somebody, like reliably, it's Shakir. Shakir is the most reliable receiver on this team. If you don't count Kincaid, who didn't play yesterday, he might be a part of it too. But as far as like just being sane and taking what they give you and doing what we can, Shakir, Kincaid, that's the game plan generally. Get the ball in the hands of Shakir and let him make a play. Get him the ball, he makes up yards afterwards. Get Kincaid the ball, usually not a ton of yards afterward, but like he's open down the field. So you want 18 yards, that's Kincaid. You want 3 yards with the potential of 64 yards, that's Shakir. Kincaid didn't play yesterday. Shakir caught 1 pass for -3. And Allen still threw for 3-something. 317, 3 touchdowns. And ran for 3. That was fun. That was fun. If you're a season ticket holder, congratulations on attending yesterday's game. I didn't like how the weather looked. I wouldn't have gone. The games are all on television, so I don't need to be out in that. But you should be rewarded once in a while for being a part of that. And you were. If you're a Bills fan, you went yesterday. There was a party in Orchard Park, 1 p.m. Sunday afternoon party. You attended. Congratulations. That was fun. I don't know what this means, what yesterday's game means for the future of the team, what it means for the for this season. But here's what I take out of it. And, you know, if I'm wrong, oh well, doesn't matter. It's just a dude talking. I think it just reminded all of us that they can do whatever they want. You've got Josh Allen as your quarterback. You can play that kind of game anytime you would like to. That was a good team, and they got to do the crazy Josh stuff. And yeah, defense was bad with the ground game again. Sean Tucker, never heard of him until yesterday. 19 carries, 106 yards, pair of touchdowns. Rashad White, 10 carries, 51 yards. So the two guys combined for 29 carries, 157, and a couple scores. Baker ran one in. Baker Mayfield, he had a touchdown. So he gave up 3 rushing touchdowns, gave up 32 points. Doesn't matter when Josh Allen's slinging it like he did yesterday. And that's not like the safe version of Josh that I think is the best version of Josh, but it was a nice reminder of what that dude can be. And just made us all comfortable and happy. And the standings are starting to look a little, I don't know, more digestible and beatable. Here's what I'm doing with standings right now, and I should open them before I start talking about it. But what I'm doing with standings right now is I'm looking at the loss column because it's a little messed up. I was waiting for the Patriots to lose a game yesterday, and then they just kept not playing. And it turns out they played Thursday. Forgot. Coffee. I gotta move this. I'm gonna absolutely fling my arms around and knock it over. I have a big mess on my hands. And on my lap. I don't want that. When I look at the standings, I'm going to type this in. NFL standings. And I would recommend you do this too. Look at the loss column. Because you're chasing the Patriots in the division, which I'm fine with. But it looks way worse than it is. Because the Patriots are 9-2. The Bills couldn't be 9-2 if they did everything in the world correctly. They could not be 9-2 right now because they've only played 10 games. So will the Patriots lose another game? I'm going to say yeah, because, well, the Bills are coming for the division. So 9-2 versus 7-3, it doesn't work. The math doesn't work until you catch up. Patriots have a bye, I think not this week, but next. Then at least they'll have the same number of games played. But these two teams are going to play each other. If you're a Bills fan thinking about the Bills winning the division, they beat the Patriots. They have to. That's a part of it. So there's the third loss for New England. And anything we're thinking about, all these teams you're hearing about and people are talking about, nobody has one loss. Everybody's got two. The Bills have three. So there are three teams in the AFC with two losses. The Bills have three losses. And then there are a handful of teams with four, and then five, and then six, and then no six, and 7, 8, 9. The teams you're competing with, Broncos, Patriots, Colts. Patriots at the top of that list, of course. But even like the Broncos were playing the Chiefs yesterday. And I can't help but root against the Chiefs, who now sit at 5-5, which is awesome. Or with the Texans. The Ravens are 5-5 too. Great. Love it. Playoff seeding right now. If they started today, they do not. But if they did, Texans, Chiefs, Ravens, all 5-5. Awesome. But those are teams that have played 10 games. And then you've got these teams that have played 11 games that are sitting at the top, which are the Broncos and the Patriots. 9-2, 9-2. Colts are 8-2. Don't look at the wins. Only look at the losses. Assume that these are good teams. Assume they're going to win most of the time. And just look at losses. You're one back in losses. The Bills are currently the 5 seed. Because the Patriots are 9-2 and they're the 2 seed. Behind the 9-2 Broncos. I would love for the Bills to have a week off to start the playoffs. That would be cool. And maybe we'll get there. Still 7 games left in the season. There's a lot that's going to happen. But most importantly, you're trying to track down the Patriots. They're at 9-2. You're at 7-3. That sounds like the Bills are way worse than the Pats. What you need is the Patriots to lose a game that isn't against the Bills. Just lose a game. That's it. A game. Any game. Also, stop playing for a week. You stop playing for a week, they're getting a bye coming up. The Bills need to win. And then suddenly it's 8-3 against 9-2. Oh, but the Patriots already beat the Bills. Right, but they played twice, so it doesn't matter. You just have to beat them again. You overtake the Patriots, and suddenly you're in position for the 2 seed or the 3 seed. And then maybe, if things fall apart a little for the Broncos, who don't look incredible at all. Defense looks good, but good God, that's the 1 seed. That's the team that's going to have the bye in the first round of the playoffs. Honestly, great. Cool. They're going to lose to whichever of the Chiefs or Ravens gets to that 7 spot. You know, like that's what's going to happen, right? So, I don't know. A lot of things to feel good about from yesterday. The win is nice. The standings are kind of shaping up. And then my math, which just, it's like, I have too much logic in my head. How many teams have fewer losses in this league, in this conference, than the Bills? It's 3. How many of them have played the same number of games as the Bills? It's 1 of those 3. So the Bills are at 7-3. The Colts are 8-2. That's fair. They've got you by 1. Okay. The other 2 teams haven't played the same number of games. They haven't had the bye yet. And they need 1 more loss for the Bills to just be even with them. The Bills win most of the time. So do these other teams. But they lose sometimes. And when the Patriots lose a game, suddenly they're 9-3. The Bills win a game on Thursday against Houston. They're 8-3. You're fine. You play them again. Like it's the tiebreaker thing We think about it like with the Chiefs. We think about it with the Chiefs. We beat the Chiefs. I did it. I didn't really do it. Bills beat the Chiefs. Tiebreaker in the Bills' favor. That could come up. Within the division, however, you play teams twice. So the fact that the Pats won here, even though that sucked, even though I am afraid of what the Patriots are going to do for the next several years with their quarterback and head coach combination. Like they're in the fight now. But for this year, 9-2 is not super far ahead of 7-3 when you play each other. Again, it's just not. If the Bills win the week that the Patriots are off, then you just have to beat the Patriots. I mean, it's going to be a massive game playing for the division rather. But it's seriously one other loss somewhere on the Pats schedule. And I know their schedule is not super hard, but bear with me here. They need a loss, and then you need to beat them, and then you're into like crazy tiebreaker crap. So that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the math of, I'm thinking playoff math today. After the Bills went out there with an entirely new group of wide receivers in week 11 and look 1,000 times better offensively. The crazy Bills, the crazy Josh Bills still exist. You can always just turn into crazy. And when things get wild and things get loose, I've got the best player that I've ever seen on my team. My team being the Bills. So that was fun. It was fun and made me think very positive things, despite the fact that look at the standing. All right, let's say the playoffs did start today. If they started today, the Broncos would have a bye. The Patriots would play the Jaguars. The Colts would play the Chargers, and the Bills would travel to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. Cool. So cool. I would sign up for this right now, honestly. I would sign up for that being the 7 that are in. Chiefs out, Ravens out, Bengals out. This conference belongs to, for the past several years, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bengals, kind of. The Bengals are the kind of. The Bengals are 3-7. The Chiefs are 5-5. The Ravens are 5-5. It's the Bills and a bunch of newcomers. I would sign up for it to stop right now and the Bills to be the 5 seed. Fine. I mean, what happens there? All right, let's say Jaguars at Patriots. I think Patriots win. Chargers at Colts. I don't know. I don't believe in either one of them. Colts at the ground game. We'll go with the Colts. Bills at the Steelers. That's Bills. So then that's Bills at Broncos. Great. To get to the AFC Championship game, you have to, right now, win in Pittsburgh and then win in Denver. Fine. This is not going to be the way it shakes out, but I like the look of it right now. So then the Bills beat the Broncos. The Colts and Patriots fight it out for the other spot in the championship game. I don't care. Either one of them hosts it. The Bills are still on the road. This is why you got to get ahead of the Patriots, so you start hosting things. Close out old Highmark Stadium with something cool like an AFC Championship game. This all can be accomplished. Bye weeks. Losses to teams that we're not thinking about. It's all coming. It's all fine. I feel good. I feel very good. I didn't turn my light on. My fancy. Hold on. Is this ready to go? Let's try this. Hold on. No. No. Ugh. There we go. All right, so that's where we are. It is Writer Radio. It's episode 211. Chill. That was a 311 joke. You get that one? That was me as A. Martinez from 311. I told my story again recently, my New Orleans story. I went to there's this bar in New Orleans called The Dungeon, and it's kind of like a secret speakeasy type of thing. They open at midnight, at least last time I was there. It's been a while. They open at midnight, and you have to know how to get there. You have to, like, wind your way through alleys. And when I was going to New Orleans, someone told me about this place, and I was like, all right. Like, no, you got this. This is the place, the non-touristy type of joint. Like, okay, they open at midnight, and I went there, and I was there in, good God, it was so long ago. It was right after 9/11, so it was 24 years ago. Holy crap. I went to this place and hung out, and that's where I met Nicolas Cage. He was there. It was like 12 people in the bar, and one of them was Nicolas Cage. You really do have to know how to find it. But somebody informed me, and I found it, and it was cool. And then the other time I was there, 311 was there, and Alien Ant Farm. Not like to play a show, just they had played a show somewhere, and then they came there because that's the coolest place. So they're at this bar. It's a tiny little joint. I don't remember why I'm talking about it right now, but I know that it came up recently. Whether it was about meeting famous people or knowing secrets and like not being a tourist, whatever it was. I went to this place in October of 2001 and met Nick Cage. And then I went there again in February of 2002 and saw 311 and Alien Ant Farm. I don't remember if I talked to them, but they were there in a group of, 20 people in this, feels like a basement bar. It's called The Dungeon. It felt like a dungeon. I don't know why I just told that story. I apologize for the digression. Digression? Diversion? I don't know, man. We'll play a song. Scott Wilson will be on with me in just a moment. Stick around. It's Writer Radio, episode 211. Thank you.
Telling myself that it'll be fine. You can't make everybody happy all of the time. But I found myself in a place that I've never been, a place that I thought that I would never be. There's people looking back at me. I keep having this dream, I'm at a party, there's people throwing drinks and screaming, telling me that I don't belong. Lately life's been the same, I find this comfortable place with all my friends, and then my friends start telling me that I've always been wrong. And I'm so tired of being wrong. Angry faces, it didn't once cross my mind. With paranoia in my heels, will you love me still? When we awaken, you find that the sanity is gone from my because you're so worried about what I'm gonna think. Baby, I'm worried too. But if love is a game, girl, then you're gonna win. I'll spend the rest of my life bringing victory in. If you want me to.
Mess up my mind, mess up my mind, mess up my mind with the eye patch. Mess up my mind, mess up my mind, mess up my mind with the eye patch. Mess up my mind, mess up my mind, mess up my mind with the eye patch.
Channeling instinct, so my what brings. With that causing all fat, I'm responsible for your diet.
Keep it quiet.
Yo, I got beats. Stick the stitch on my national fabric. My daughter will speak the Arabic, cause how I live. Levitate to my nation when holding up your nickels. I pile like Cumble, so I don like Rickles, like green on the pickle. My papes on the up, master of the cabbage patch.
Your eyes got the latch.
So catch the cut, I hold the rut for my people's reminder. When it makes your path, I be the finder of the patch.
Can the cat's tongue slip? You do the eye zip. Take the horse to the Jolly Ranch. Keep the hush. The good, the bad, and Uncle Tom. Beat it, kid. Show the sheep, cause I found the fool. When I string the man with the eye patch. The eye patch. Well, I'm walking it, and could you make it go sha-na-na-na?
It sniffs good. Punk show disguises while I standing on the whip. I be the in cause the brother holding Glocks is out. I be the in cause the pusher running blocks is out. I be the in cause the kid smoking weed shooting see which leads to a girl's stomach being about a half a ton is out. Show the fingerprint and giving good grief for my lumber. Pants was sad cause my license as a plumber. Feel the plug.
Yo, something's wrong here.
Now give a shout.
What's up? I like to give a holler to Big 470 Fender. No, come on.
And I bring an income in to my baby girl Twala out in White Plains and all my peoples out in Delaware.
Yeah, and I like to give a shout out to all those rappers who dissed us on record, and I want to let you know you're still whack. And oh yeah, I ain't mention no names because you might fuck.
Hold it, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were going back to that.
I like big butts, I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. When around things in your face, you get sprung. When a girl walks in, you pull up tough, 'cause you notice that her butt was stuffed. My homeboys tried to warn me so horny. I seen her dancing, to hell with romancing. Baby got bad, oh baby got bad. My anaconda don't want none, unless you've got them buns, hun. When it's round and thick, I wanna stick it to ya. I'm long and I'm strong and I'm down to get the friction on. when I see a thick soul sister, hallelujah. I seen that bubble, now I'm in trouble. Baby got back, oh baby got back.
Let's check in with RITER Radio's senior football correspondent, Scott Wilson.
Hell yeah, let's check in with Scott. Scott, are you there?
I am here.
Oh, good.
Yes.
How's it going, man?
Good. Good. How's it going with you?
It's all right. It's all right. I'm excited to talk about a Bills win. I'm excited that they were super fun yesterday. Like, they can be good. You can. There are good teams that are fun. There are good teams that are not fun. There are bad teams that are fun. There are bad teams that are not fun. Yesterday they were a good team and fun, and it's because they let Josh go crazy again. Which I don't know. It's just a nice reminder that is a possibility at any point for them to just be like, I don't know, turn it over to the crazy guy with the big arm. And they did it yesterday, and it was awesome. It was everyone that I've talked to about that game had more fun watching it than standard, like, just dissection of a boring team in a boring win by running for 170 yards and throwing for one touchdown. Like, it was just, we've got Josh, let him off the leash and just run around. It was great.
Yeah, he was incredible. I mean, he's now the only player to ever have multiple 3 touchdowns on the ground, 3 in the air games. So
that's something.
Yeah, he's got that in him, and they let it out. And I think that there's a lot of layers to that win. First of all, just getting the win, keeping pace with the Patriots. But like you said, that they had that game in them, and Thanksgiving is in a week and a half here. And, this is about the time where we can start to really accurately say and talk about what these teams in the NFL are. You get to Thanksgiving, what's what. You know what's going on. And I think it's something that the Bills have had a couple of these types of games, and their main competition has been the Chiefs. And the Chiefs have 5 wins this year, but they have not had this type of game where their offense, just everything is clicking. They're putting up massive numbers, where you say, oh, that looks like the old days. Everything has been they've had flashes of that, but it hasn't been a game like that. So I think that that's a big event when I'm sizing those two teams up, and I'm sizing the Bills up against the other teams in contention in the AFC. I think that that's the thing that I would come back to is the Bills still have that game in their arsenal, and not a lot of other teams do. Right. That's what's going to make them different. It's just the reason why you like it to be a little bit more consistent, because then you run the risk of, well, if everybody's having one off day, then you're stuck. Like if Josh is out there and it's a hurricane or, it's something crazy, you're stuck. You're stuck. But the second thing is, I think that there has been an attitude shift. And again, I think that it comes with the time of the season here where it's getting Thanksgiving. You're seeing it from the coaching staff, and I think it has trickled down to the players. And that's Keon Coleman. Like, yeah, dude, he's still kind of young, but it felt very much like yes, we can have fun here. Yes, we have players that do have fun here. We do not need you on this team. So you can either choose to be a part of this team and do what's required, or you can not be here. But this song is going to keep playing whether you're here or not. And it's time. Enough, no more messing around. no more feeling sorry about yourself or half-heartedly doing things. You got to go full speed, or you will be replaced. And I think that message was trying to be delivered to him, whether or not it is or not. Who knows? He's out there in the pregame dancing around. I would be very upset if I was him. Try to stay positive for your teammates, but I would not be dancing. And then, you're Dawkins after the game, who is, along with Josh, one of those fun guys. And he said basically, fun time is over. It's time to play. It's time to play. And if you're not going to, you're not going to be playing. So it's interesting. It feels very much like a switch is trying to be flipped here.
Yeah.
After that Miami game. Like, hey, listen, this is real. We have a real team now in the division. The rest of the conference seems to be kind of opened up. Denver is winning these games on luck. Kansas City is now 5-5. Basically done for the division. Barring a miracle here, Kansas City's not going to win that division out there. The Ravens did not have Lamar for half of this season, and they have dug themselves a massive hole. Still could get out, but a massive hole, and their defense hasn't been good. The window is here. It's time to stop joking around and having fun, because we had a little bit too much fun down in Miami, and things all of a sudden nothing becomes funny then. It's only fun if we're going to get out here and do what we should do. And I like that. I like the response by the team. Tampa's a very good football team. They're a for sure playoff contender, and they just absolutely demolished them, including 2 turnovers. It was a very impressive performance, and I like the mental switch that seems to be coming here.
Do you think that the mental switch is Gabe Davis? Because I do. Kind of. I know I'm a bigger fan of that guy than everybody else, except Josh, and we all believe in Josh. And I think Keon Coleman was drafted to replace Gabe Davis, and he hasn't at all. And Davis is not a number 1 receiver in the NFL, but he's a massive part of what Josh Allen was and became in the NFL. And then he left, and it made sense that he left. I like him more than everybody else, and I still didn't have a problem with him going, because you can't just pay everyone. You can't be him and get paid like you're number 1. But my God, has that dude come up massively in super important situations, and he's clearly a good dude that fits with the team and fits with what Josh is trying to do. And having him in the lineup yesterday made so much sense to me. The first catch he made was, I can't believe the ball got through the defender's arms for him to make the catch, but it was nothing. But it was 3rd down, and all right, Josh is going to throw a rifle over the middle, and this guy's going to grab it because Josh believes in him. Giving Josh another dude that he just knows in that way is a major deal to me, and I think he looked like he had one of his friends back on his side. In the same way that if I'm doing a radio show and I can't have Scott Wilson on, I'm not happy. The show's not going to be as good. I'll be fine. I can do it, but it's better if Scott's there. And I think Josh is better if Gabe's there. And Gabe was there and he was better. So I don't want to just, I said it kind of jokingly as I started, but that's a major deal to me that he's got his, I don't know, there's like a comfort there that doesn't exist without him. And I think Keon Coleman versus Gabe Davis, for sure, Josh has a preference, and I have the same one.
Well, I don't know if his presence is the reason for the mental switch. That could just be, I think that's probably coming from the coaches and the senior leadership of the team saying, listen, that was embarrassing, man. Miami sucks.
They do.
And we're out here, we need to stop approaching this like there's a ton of the season left, because there's not. And we need to, this is the time now. You can't just screw around and hope to get to the playoffs and then you're going to turn it on. It's too late. But I will say, I think if you athletically and age-wise, certainly I think Coleman is better than Davis. But in some of these situations, there is something to be said for, and I think that we might be able to say this, not knowing two of them personally and asking them this question, but there's something to be said for a quarterback and wide receiver that see the game the same way. And I think that those two do. And they have the same type of, I don't know, instincts or reads on certain situations. And because of that, they're able to link up pretty easily. It's certainly not in the same vein as like a Mahomes or Kelsey, but I will, as far as
No, I think
as successful as it's been. But I
the
think
right
that
conversation
clearly,
to have, though. Yeah.
clearly the two of them are on a position where they see the game the same way, and it takes very little communication and very little effort to both be on the same page. And I think that they are both on the same page. And I also think that Gabe Davis was around during the Dable years, so there's a little bit more of a familiarity there with some of the longer field, down the field stuff that they want to do, because that was more Dable stuff than Brady. I mean, Brady certainly has the ability, go back and watch LSU in 2019. He can figure out how to throw the ball deep. don't worry about that. But still, in the way that they've been running it, it's been different. Just adding him in where Josh feels comfortable, and then Hardman in just as a guy who can try to stretch the field a little bit. Palmer was back this week.
That helped too, yeah.
Which I think helps as well.
But also no Kincaid. Keep that in mind too. So they swapped out a part that they weren't using very well, but also swapped out a part they were using very well, and still made some magic happen yesterday.
Yeah. It was an impressive performance. I liked that I think that they did a pretty good job getting the ball to the running backs in the passing game. Obviously, obviously the long touchdown there on the swing pass was nice.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, they it just felt like they had a different intensity about them, certainly than they did against Miami. And if that's the intensity and the attention to detail that they're going to bring to the rest of the schedule here, they're going to be in very, very good shape. I don't know, again, they've put themselves in a position now where they need somebody else to beat New England. I don't know what their schedule is, but they still have a head-to-head against New England, and they can still very much win the division. And then also, you got to think about the Colts. They're in a terrible division.
Yeah.
Like the Bills have been.
So I think they're cruising.
I don't know what the one seed situation
seems pretty difficult. But you can just have one good Sunday where suddenly it's right back in play. But I mean, that's not, to me, beating the Patriots for the division is the plan, and then anything you get on top of that is a bonus.
You want the home game. You want the home.
Patriots, right? Well, and you want to be out of that bottom tier. Like, you should be in the top 4. You should, and you're going to be top 3 because the North winner is not going to be. I think the goal is to knock off the Patriots. Patriots remaining schedule. They're at the Bengals, home against the Giants, home against the Bills, at the Ravens, at the Jets, home against the Dolphins. You need one of those Jets or Dolphins games to go your way. That's kind of the deal right now, because assuming you're going to beat them, in this scenario that we're painting where the Bills win the division, you're going to beat the Patriots, obviously. You need a loss in the division for them to get into the weird tiebreakers. And that's kind of the plan right now, is either the Jets or Dolphins has to do some damage to the Patriots very late in the season. But it all makes sense. It all fits together. I want to go back to a thing you said right at the beginning. I didn't want to pick a fight. I wanted you to do your whole your whole thing. Other than age, in what way is Keon Coleman better than Gabe Davis? Other than
I think he's more athletic. What
does he do with it? He doesn't do anything with it. I saw Gabe Davis catch a 95-yard touchdown pass. So that's athletic
No,
enough. You know, I think he's a. I don't even dislike Keon Coleman. I just think he's a like Timu Gabe Davis.
I think that there are decathletes that are more athletic than Gabe Davis, but I wouldn't want them on the field.
Okay.
I mean, I think I'm just looking at his overall athleticism and youth is if you were going to put it on a chart, I think that he probably checks more boxes than Gabe Davis. Just like Charles Rogers would. But but Danny Amendola has a better career than those types of guys.
Great answer to my stupid question. I appreciate it. Jameis played for your Giants, and I think that was fun. And it came down to a pass in the end zone, which is either going to be caught by his team or the other team, and that's what he does.
Yeah, first of all, the Giants got that Patriots game coming up. I think that they could be a little bit dangerous in that one.
Yeah, let's go.
So my guys are going to try and do the Lord's work there for you.
Yeah.
It was incredibly frustrating because, again, while Jameis isn't the guy that all of a sudden is going to turn the thing around and we're talking Super Bowl, or we're saying, wow, okay, yeah, this is the future. Or even that you would think if you're another team, all right, this is the guy that's going to get us to the Super Bowl. It's very frustrating to know how many games were wasted on Russell Wilson. Competent quarterback play, they would have been able to win the game.
Yeah.
Winston had them in the red zone to take the lead or to tie the game in the fourth quarter, under 2 minutes to go, against the Packers, a team that is better than them. And here we are I needed 8.5 minutes of game time. They didn't even have to be on the field the whole time against the Bears. Could have won. And it leaves me scratching my head saying, what the hell was going on? I don't know. Clearly it's a Dable decision because the first thing that happened was he left and they're like, Jameis is starting.
Yeah.
Russ is not playing in this game anymore. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it because I really like Dable. I really trusted him. And it makes me totally change my mind about, as I said last week, he's got to go after that.
Yeah.
Putting in
an hour. We had you on, and then an hour later he was fired.
Yeah.
So
the
Mara family was listening.
Mara family is big RITER Radio people.
I can see that.
I don't. It's very frustrating. You look at the Chiefs game. They were in the Chiefs game. They could have beaten the Chiefs, but they had Russell Wilson, so they automatically could not beat the Chiefs. Instead of having Jameis Winston there and being able to throw the ball, it's really upsetting. It makes me think back. If Jameis Winston starts the season, or if Jameis Winston, it would have to be if Jameis Winston starts the season as the quarterback. We probably still haven't seen Dart yet. They can probably still stick to the original plan and not have played Dart yet, which was, I think, can we stay afloat and then get to the second half of the season and then we'll put him in so he doesn't have to play the full schedule and, play all the good teams in the front end of the schedule and get a concussion. But that had to go out the wayside because we had to watch Russell Wilson play like crap except for 3/4 of one game against the worst defense in the league in the Dallas Cowboys. So, it's that among some other decisions, but that among all, I think, is what got Dable fired in the end. He played Russell Wilson. And then not only did he play him, if you say he's a veteran and I'm going to play him week 1 because I owe him that respect, just to at least see what he can do. Okay, I'm fine with that. We're not Super Bowl contenders. I'm okay with that. You throw him out there and he does okay. It's not like there could be worse guys to learn from for Dart than Russell Wilson, sure. But to keep going to him and then to keep putting him back in the game after he's clearly terrible is as I said last week, it's professional malfeasance. Like you just can't do it. You're watching the same game. He knows way more than we do, but does he? Because we saw because he kept throwing this guy in there and he sucks.
Yeah.
And it cost his team so many games this year and cost him again, So I think it's going to be interesting maybe, with the concussion situation and this season over. I as a fan would like to see them play this very cautiously with Dart. I have no reason to rush him back in. I do want to see him play again this year, but I have no desire to have him. Like, I can give him 2 weeks off and feel fine about it. At this stage of the game, I'm fine with Winston playing. I think the team, at least the other players, would at least believe that, all right, we could win with Winston. That's going to at least keep everybody else playing. It's not like you're playing Tommy DeVito where everyone's like, oh my God, unless this guy finds gold in the Meadowlands, we're definitely not going to win this game. So, I'm in no rush. I know that Dart's good. I know what the deal is there. I'm excited about it. I'm ready to see him next year. I do not want him picking up or having a season where all of a sudden he's picking up 2-3 concussions in a row in his first season and he's destroyed.
His career is destroyed. Yeah. Are you in the root for losses mode yet? Because it's the right time of year. There's still time to lose 6 or 7 games.
Don't worry. There's time.
Yeah, but I mean, we're late enough in the year where the standings are taking shape at the top, but also there's still plenty of time to really bottom out and get yourself in the top 5 for a draft. And I don't know. I think that's kind of where I would be. Like, let's watch Jameis Winston throw 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in the same game and have some fun. And, if the score doesn't come up our way, great. Like, that's better. I don't know. That's, I think, where I would be if I was a Giants fan at this point. But I don't know. Maybe that's insulting.
Well, okay,
I'm not trying to be insulting, but maybe that's the right move.
I always have approached it. I will go into a game and think, I don't really care if they win, if they lose.
I know where this is going. I'm the same way. Yeah.
If they lose, then we get the draft position.
Right.
Then
they have the shirts on that you have the sweatshirt and they've got the shirts and
then they kick the ball off and I'd like to rip the other team's throat out.
I would like to. I would like to lose to the Dolphins today, and then they kick it off, and it's like, no, I would not. No, I definitely would not.
So I'll take this. Again, I'll tie it into Dart. If my quarterback the last 6 weeks of the season or whatever is left, what is there, 7 weeks of the season left?
6, 7.
Yes,
you did it.
Is I did it. You did it. We did it together.
Sorry.
If it's Dart, I want them to win. I think that's valuable experience.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
I want them to win. If it's Winston, I, as a fan, would love to be able to watch in games, but if they lose, I will not be as sad afterwards.
Right.
Sense. I mean, but I think if you look back at when Eli Manning took over for Kurt Warner his rookie season, they lost some close games with him there. You started to see a little bit of it coming around, and then at the end of the season, they had a big win over Washington. And it was one of those where, did it help anything to win that game? No. But it felt like, okay,
the moment.
The quarterback is there. They won, and I think it helped his career and the organization to have that win and to be able to go into the offseason building off that.
Yep.
And if it's if it's Dart, I want him to win those games so that my quarterback gets the aura, gets the buzz, gets the feel going, and they can go into the offseason. It helps with free agents. Like, hey, all right, not sure what we're doing at coach, but either way, we're going to have this dude.
Well, it helps with coach too. We talked about this last week.
It helps with coach too. Yeah.
This is going to help. This is how Vrabel winds up in New England. You know, it's like we've got a pretty good idea that this is really a guy. So if you'd like to come in and work with him, we can go forward. And I feel like the Giants are going to be in that same situation as they're looking for their head coach. And they probably have an idea of what they're trying to do, I would think. You know, it's not going to happen right now, but I think Dart being in place is a massive win for the organization as they attempt to fill that head coaching spot. Have we talked about the GM still being there? Is Joe Shane, like, is Shane the guy to pick the next coach for the Giants? For you?
Well, he is right now.
Well, yeah.
For me, I agree with some of his moves. I don't. From what I have read and seen and heard, I'm gonna start with the Saquon situation.
Yeah.
I think Shane wanted to trade Saquon. And I know that because I know people that know him, and I personally asked them to tell him to trade Saquon so that we can get the draft capital. And the response was,
are you taking credit for the Saquon trade? Is that what I just
No,
heard?
they didn't trade him. That's the point. I think the owner was heavily involved in the Saquon situation. What I'm saying is...
Wait, they didn't trade him? What did they do? How did that happen?
He was a free agent. They let him go.
They just didn't re-sign him. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They franchised him and then let him go.
Okay.
They said, we're not going to franchise him a second time because the second time you get the double. It's like double. It's like a massive penalty.
You just tricked me. You talked in a circle and you said wanted to trade Saquon. I was like, okay, I guess they traded him. I didn't think they traded him. And then I don't know. I got confused from you talking in circles.
Okay, yeah. So here's let me try and clarify.
Mess with me, man.
They weren't going to sign him.
Correct.
I
said trade him. You're not going to sign him. Trade him.
I said I think they should trade. I think they should trade him to somebody that knows Joe Shane. And I know
I remember who you
that
person.
About. I know that person said to Joe Shane,
Brandon Bean,
my buddy's a massive Giants fan, and he said it's okay to go ahead and trade him. And I was told the response was, we're working on it. And then through the Saquon documentary, it kind of, and through the Hard Knocks, it very much appeared as if the owner stepped in and said, this is our guy. He's Saquon. He's our most popular player. Everybody loves him. Don't trade him. Well, then you get in a situation where you didn't trade him, but the people making the decisions don't want to pay him the money. So they're stuck. So I think that there's a little bit of that going on, that I think Mara and the ownership was involved in some of those decisions that is kind of coloring my impression as far as what they're doing. I agree with not re-signing Saquon. They weren't good enough to pay him that money. He wouldn't have a 2,000-yard season with the Giants last year. He would have had 650 yards and gotten hurt in week 7 with the Giants last year because he's got to play every game on the turf at MetLife, and they were terrible. And they didn't have a quarterback. So, I agree with those decisions. I agree with a lot of the draft picks, but I think he's still there because they view it as a failure in coaching, that he has assembled enough talent that they should be winning games. And at a certain point, it's hard to argue because they keep getting up by 10 points or more in the fourth quarter every week, and then they lose. So it's not like there isn't anything there. It was, if you watch Hard Knocks, it was a good decision there to take Malik Neighbors that high in the draft when they couldn't trade up and try to get Daniels or Drake May. Who I think they would have taken if they could have taken Drake May. I think they would have taken Drake May in that draft.
Sure.
Again, of course, they could have had their pick if they had not beaten won a late season game that we were talking about, like that situation.
Yeah.
They did that to themselves twice in a row. They would have had Cam Ward this past year, which I don't know, maybe it worked out better. Jackson Dart seems to be better than Cam Ward right now, but I'm okay with Shane. I think that he's made, there's some good picks. There's also some bad picks in there. I don't know what Kayvon Thibodeau is. I mean, I know that he's a first round pick and a top 10 pick, and I treat him as such, but he plays hard, but he certainly doesn't have the production for somebody of that spot. Evan Neal sucks. Couldn't play him. Could not play him. Couldn't play him. So, and again, that's another top 10 pick. It's the last 2 drafts. I think they've done a very good job of bringing guys in. And he still did have to dig out of the cap nightmare that was the Gettleman years, those first 2 seasons. So, I think he's probably going to retain his job, but at a certain point, just like with Dable, the record speaks for itself. Someone's got to take that on the chin, and apparently it's going to be only Dable. And I don't know if that's necessarily completely fair, but it seems from the outside that there's certainly enough groceries there to make a meal, and there's just no food. There's no food coming out of the kitchen, and that's kind of the way that they're approaching it.
Well put.
I think that I think as far as the coach is concerned, I don't know what they're going to do. The best thing they could do, and we've seen it with UB, which is hire a guy that has the head coaching experience. Lance Leipold, Pete Lembo now, those guys win. And they know how to win. They have the experience, and I think that they're a little bit more adept at having the CEO type of mentality and hiring good, solid coordinators to come in and do that. I don't know of any guy out, unless you're going to hire him from another team. I don't really see any of those guys out there right now. There isn't a Vrabel sitting out there right now that they could just go pick from. So then you think, all right, well, so you got to take an up-and-coming coordinator. Obviously, quarterback is the most important thing. Well, we just did that and didn't really matter. So, are you hiring a guy based solely off of who's going to be the best for Dart? Maybe, but all the draft capital that Shane has spent has been all on the defense, along the defensive line, and they don't get any goddamn sacks or any pressure, and they're the worst at stopping the run. So maybe I say, yes, Dart is important, but I can still get an offensive coordinator to help him out. Do I hire a defensive coach because that's where all the draft capital's got? I don't know. They're in a mess because I don't see a real clear answer to who they're going to bring in at head coach right now.
I love everything you just said there, and it reminds me how much I loved the Bulls. Both coaches that you're talking about, the hiring of both of them. Leipold was, this guy has done all of the stuff. It's just at a different level than this, but it seems like he's got his organization together. Let's bring him in. And we saw what a manager of people Lance Leipold was, and he's doing it in Kansas now. And Pete Lembo, very similar. It's like he's got the experience of this and that and that and that, and I don't believe that being an offensive coordinator, I guess Ben Johnson being the exception that's flashing in my face right now with the 7-3 somehow Bears, but I don't see coordinator promoted to head coach being the direction that I would attempt to travel. Of course it could work. Of course, if he's good at this, he might be good at that. But show me that you're good at organization and good at putting good people around you. That's the guy that I would probably seek as a head coach. This is in general, not just for the Giants, but it just brings me to an overall point that I loved when UB hired Leipold, and I loved when they hired Lembo, and both have proven to be very good hires. And it was because they had the experience as an organizer, as a leader, as a captain, as a whatever you want, CEO,
leader of men and organized.
Yeah. That's the part I want more than wow, that guy's offense is good. He should be our head coach. Like that, I don't. If I'm an owner of an NFL team, which I'm pretty far from being, that would be the thing I would look for. If I'm I'm closer to being an athletic director at a Division I FBS university than I am to being an owner of an NFL team. But either way, if I get to one or the other, what I'm looking for is a leader who's organized more than I'm looking for. Wow, your quarterback threw for a lot of yards last year. I'm going to make you my head coach.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes you hit gold on those guys.
Sure.
I mean, Parcells was an assistant, but
Belichick,
it's also
but it's not the point.
right. It's also like trying to catch a comet. That's I don't know. It's there isn't that main off-season guy who you're like, oh, all right, Vrabel can come in here and do something. And I mean, Belichick, I guess, but I want no part of that. I don't think the Giants do either. They've been
not.
Yeah, I maybe if they were going to put him as some type of advisor, you know what I mean?
Consultant.
Like an advisory role or president of football direction, make up some type of crap where it's like a front office thing, but he's, just kind of hanging around and helping out. But I don't want him as the head coach. I don't want the drama. He's bringing the young girlfriend into New York City. I mean, come on. The amount of heat and media attention that they get with that girlfriend at Chapel Hill, North Carolina,
right,
is large.
Excessive, yeah.
And now put him as head coach of the Giants in New York City. It would be Lord. It would be a big thing.
All right. What else is going on in your life? What'd you do over the weekend? We haven't talked to you since Friday. Anything new going on with you? What's happening?
Yeah, it's been a big week. Went to Mount Pleasant last week.
I did that
Came
too.
home.
That's
right.
So
Came
weird
home.
That you're saying that because I went there also.
Went to work. And then basically came home from work, and it was time to go to a soccer tournament over in Jersey. So we drove to New Jersey. Had a soccer tournament on Saturday, just across the river in Philadelphia.
How did you play?
Well, the first day was not good.
That was a joke. I was implying that you were the one playing in a soccer tournament. That was the
I wish.
joke
I wish. Can I tell you what?
It's been a while. You'd kill those 12-year-olds.
It's been a while since I played, but these 9-year-olds would have gotten a piece of my mind.
Yeah.
I would have had a weekend for sure. I would have been putting out a couple of what's a double hat trick?
6.
I would have been, yeah. Well, I know. There it is. Yeah, I would have been able to score. But first day was not good. They got some kids from South Jersey and New York City that can play some soccer at 9. So those were 2 rather large losses. But then the second day we had a 2-2 tie and then won 3-2.
All right.
So
better.
Yeah, turn things around. You know what helped is the 35-mile-an-hour wind. When you've got it at your back,
That's a power.
Yeah, kids start looking like Ronaldo out there. It's beautiful. You just have to hang on when you're going into the wind. It was one of those. All right, if we can end going into the wind, not down by like 6, I think we're going to be okay. And we were okay.
All right,
it was good. My son scored a goal
Nice.
on Sunday, hammered one home from top of the box.
Let's go.
Curled it into the top. It was great. But yeah, Saturday, because we were right across the river from Philadelphia, the team all kind of went together, had different spots, different sections, because we couldn't buy like a section. But we went to the United States versus Paraguay international friendly. And it's my first time seeing a soccer game in a soccer specific stadium.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great. The seats, there's not a bad seat there. It's where the Philadelphia Union of the MLS play. There was probably, I don't know, a couple hundred empty seats. So that's pretty good attendance for a friendly in cold weather for the men's national team. It was a really good game, 2-1. U.S. won. There was a red card in the game. There was a brawl just before the end of the game, benches clearing brawl. I mean, it was awesome, man. That's what you want. It was a surprisingly spicy exhibition match.
Well, just the fact that it's called a friendly and there was a brawl. I mean, that's fun to me. Like I'm not a big soccer guy, and no knock on it. I just have never. I don't know it. I don't know. But you tell me there's a friendly, and then there's a brawl. Like I'm listening. My ears have perked up.
Yeah, it's I know that you're not a soccer guy, but there was a lot of anytime the U.S. on American soil plays a Central or South American team, it tends to be very much. It quickly turns into a situation where it's like Sabres Leafs, where it's like 50-50, 60-40.
Yeah.
60-40 Sabres. Yeah. So there was a lot of Paraguay fans there. So I think that kind of livened up the environment a little bit as well. And that was fun.
Interruption.
Especially
do you think that the Paraguay fans are actually Paraguay fans, or do you think that all of Central and South America fans gathered to become? Because I think it sounds to me like more than Sabres Leafs, it's like Sabres Canucks or Sabres Flames, where you're like, I don't know, I'm not really, that's not my team, but I'm from there kinda, so I'm going to rally for this other team. That sounds very anti-United States, pro Central and South America to me.
Well, there may have been some of those.
I don't know anyone from Paraguay.
All of the here's the thing. I knew they were from Paraguay because they all were carrying flags or had their jersey on.
Okay.
So that to me, like the jersey to me signals a level of fandom that is not
made up. Yeah.
Not made up. And then also you have to remember these South American teams do not like each other like that.
Okay. All right.
Like here in the US, there's like 5 different sports where you could be like rivals of something. And down there, that's this.
There's one. Yeah. All right.
It's this. So like, you're not going to find anybody from Argentina showing up to this game rooting for Paraguay.
I remember when I was doing Sabres pre and post game in 05 to 07, there was a group of Canadian fans, it's probably 8 of them, that sat in the front row. They probably still have tickets. It might still be going on, but I remember this from being in the building, that when you played the Flames, they were wearing Flame stuff. And when you played the Oilers, they were wearing Oilers stuff. And when you played the Canucks, they were wearing Canucks stuff. And they sat in the front row. They attended all the games. And they just rooted for Canada, the country. So I could see rooting for South America, Central America, whatever. I'm not disagreeing with you. I believe you. But that did exist. Like they would be giant fans of the Winnipeg Jets for 5 minutes. And then a week later you'd see them and they'd be giant fans of the, whatever it is, the Flames. And so that existed.
Well, I'll tell you, I think if this was a matchup against a club team, like just a pro team from a South American country, I think you could probably see a little bit more of that.
Okay.
The international flavor of the event, I think, is what changes it. Because again, like I don't like people, if somebody's there from Peru, I don't think that they're pulling for Paraguay.
Right, because they don't know the anthem or anything.
Right. And by the way, the Paraguay anthem, it's a banger.
It's one of my favorite songs.
It's like it's great.
Fish played it last Thursday at I'm just kidding, not really.
They've got like a false finish in there, so it's like
that's nice.
It's an instrumental for about a minute 10 seconds, and then it kind of comes down and you're like, oh, all right. And where we were standing at the time, there was a bunch of Paraguay fans around us, and you're like, oh, okay. And and all of a sudden everybody starts screaming Spanish around us. They're like, oh, it's not over. Oh no, okay. And then the actual worded part of their anthem continues the second half. So it was something. It was a fun thing to experience. The kids from the team all got to go on the field for the anthems.
Really?
So yeah, that was cool. You know how they've got the big thing around they'll put something at the center circle where it'll say like Subaru or whoever the sponsors are, and then they take it off. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I recognize this.
It's good already.
Take your hats off.
Your image on the thing, you have a hat on. I can't do anything about that, but I just took my hat off. It's a good song. Ready? I got to choose between English and Spanish. I don't remember what I picked. Were you on the field too, or just the kids?
No, just the kids. Oh, see, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Yeah, you very accurately described it. All those pueblos de America. Fausto. Recenterías por centro primo opinión.
This is good.
You know what I like about Spanish captions is the double exclamation point. If you use an exclamation point at the end, you have to put an upside down one at the beginning, and it just said basta with one upside down and one right. We don't have to keep doing this. It doesn't seem to be picking up. The beginning was the hot part, and then once they got into the lyrics, it's a little sleepy. So
Yeah, then they let the beat drop, and then things get.
It just gets gets a little dull. But all right, that was good.
Yeah, so the kids got to go on the field for the anthems when the teams marched out there and everything. It was
That's
it was
awesome.
a cool experience for them. I was definitely jealous. I wanted to go up and be like, "Excuse me, I've been a fan much longer.
Yeah, I care.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do this. My son's just gonna stay here.
Yeah,
Thank
they'd
you."
rather be playing Fortnite
But
right now.
but they got to go out there and be out there. I mean, he was on the field for the anthem of an international soccer game. That was pretty cool.
I've never done that.
He had a good time, and all the kids had a good time, and they won. That's the most important thing. That's a nice little stadium they've got tucked in right next to the bridge there. So yeah, it was a cool weekend, other than getting blown out on Saturday. But
Yeah.
that all gets wiped away when you see red cards and
All
brawls.
that matters about tournaments is Sundays. I've learned from Little League, because you play and you play and you play, and then on Sunday you're matched up with the teams you should be matched up with, and then you get to have some fun. And
and I remember we ended Sunday, and I was like thinking, man, Sunday would have been a lot different if we had played these two teams on Saturday, because now we'd be talking about trying to play for that championship,
Right.
and then we'd be incredibly disappointed when
You got annihilated.
and that didn't happen.
We
so.
had that. Where were we? Cedar Point. We had a baseball tournament last year this year in Cedar Point, and they only let the final or the top 4 teams out of like 16. Only the top 4 got to play on Sunday. We were 5th, but had we been 4th, we would have played the team that beat us 19-1 or something. So it's like, let's go on the roller coasters again. It's better. It's better than playing. So it works out. These tournaments, they've got a plan. They've got a structure to them that makes sense. But Sunday is way more fun than the rest of it. Always.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then, again, the wind made it added a different element. It was interesting to see that not only because I don't know, I thought that it was just kind of a centralized thing there in Jersey, and then I get in the car and I flip on the radio and I'm listening to some of the games on the way home, and apparently it was the whole entire Northeast was had the exact same weather. So I was like, oh, okay.
Well, it was
All right,
mixed
cool.
extra point day yesterday. There were I don't know what the number
Yeah.
was, 6 or 9 or something, like a crazy number of missed extra points, and it was all East Coast things where they're kicking, and it's just shifting to the right or the left, and it was crazy. So yeah, that it's not just you. It's just not just your soccer tournament. It's the whole East Coast, I think, that got annihilated. All right, we're done, I think, unless you have something else you need to say. Do you have a thing?
No. I mean,
I'm gonna say
I
this
wish
out loud. Go ahead.
I wish I had made my my pick of the week. I wish I had gone with my South Carolina pick because that was a good one, but I didn't. I went with Indiana, and they took the air out of the ball there in the fourth quarter. I was very disappointed, but
yeah. I was gonna say, this is rather than having to send you a text right after I'm done with this, we have to record a UB football podcast probably today, but it can't be right after this because I have a doctor's appointment. So I have that, but like this afternoon, I think, or tonight, we have to record a UB football podcast because the Bulls play in 2 days.
does your doctor know anything about the game? Maybe does you want to? Can we do it during that?
You know what? I would guess
that would be awesome.
I would guess that my previous doctor did, but I got a thing in the mail that said that my doctor is no longer in my network for insurance providers or whatever, which made it seem like I was going to have to start paying full price to go to the doctor, which, I mean, that's insane. So I was worried a little bit, but then I got a phone call and he retired. So I have a new doctor. I'm going to meet a new doctor today. He's never dealt with me. He doesn't know what he's getting into. There's a lot going on.
We do have a medical sponsor for the podcast.
ECMC.
Yeah, so we could maybe we could incorporate that in and say we're doing the first ever UB broadcast live while Brad gets his prostate checked. And
it's the best part
we'll
of
talk
my
about the
afternoon,
game.
sir. I'm looking forward to that. That's what I liked about the other guy. He didn't touch me barely at all. Like, he's like, you're fine there, right? Like, yeah, I'm good. And
just hope for skinny fingers.
Yeah, right. So I'm rooting for. I don't know. All right. Well, anyway, we've got to. We'll be in. When do you want to record the thing?
Soon, very soon.
All right. Well,
depends on your doctor.
He's 5 minutes from here, and
yeah, but you're gonna have to wait.
Yeah, I know. I have to find out what time the appointment is. It might be 12:30. It might be 12:45. It might be 1, something like that. But I gotta go because I got a doctor's appointment. I'm gonna take a shower. So I smell nice for the new guy.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Scott. Scott Wilson, it's Writer Radio. We're done for the day. Seriously, I'm gonna play a song, then the outro. Thanks for listening. Episode 211 of Writer Radio, brought to you by Brian Janik and thefinancialguys.com. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 here on Writer Radio.
Freedom of the body, freedom of the mind, a hoe on South Street, a high for drinks, little girls are picking up sticks. Freedom is 76.
for lunch?
I don't know. I have a turkey sandwich.
We're gonna go around the corner. I think you should come with us. This is a great place.
Okay.
We brought you a shirt.
You get out of here? Will you get out of here? Will you? Now, will you go to lunch? Go to lunch. Will you go to lunch?